After overthrowing the centuries-old Romanov monarchy, Russia emerged from a civil war in 1922 as the newly formed Soviet Union. The world's first Marxist-Communist state would become one of the biggest and most powerful nations in the world, occupying nearly one-sixth of Earth's land surface, before its fall and ultimate dissolution in 1991. The United Socialist Soviet Republic, or U.S.S.R., was made up of 15 Soviet republics. It existed for 69 years, from 1922 until 1991. The Soviet Union had its origins in the Russian Revolution of 1917. Radical leftist revolutionaries overthrew Russia's Tsar Nicholas II, ending centuries of Romanov rule. The Bolsheviks established a socialist state in the territory that was once the Russian Empire. A long and bloody civil war followed. The Red Army, backed by the Bolshevik government, defeated the White Army, which represented a large group of loosely allied forces including monarchists, capitalists and supporters of other forms of socialism. A 1922 treaty between Russia, Ukraine, Belarus and Transcaucasia, modern Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan formed the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. The newly established Communist Party, led by Marxist revolutionary Vladimir Lenin, took control of the government. At its peak, the U.S.S.R. would grow to contain 15 Soviet Socialist republics. Politically, the U.S.S.R. was divided into 15 constituent or union republics. Ostensibly joined in a federal union, each republic was independent and handled its own cultural affairs. Each also had the right to leave the union, which they did in 1991. The Soviet Union at its largest size in 1991, with 22,400,000 square kilometers, was the world's biggest country. Covering a sixth of the world's land, its size was comparable to North America. Its surface area was more than 2 times the size of the United States. Its surface area was even larger than Pluto, larger than Antarctica, larger than the entirety of the South American continent, larger than the Antarctic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. The territory of the USSR was dominated by the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic, having the same borders as contemporary Russia, which covered roughly 3/4 of the surface area of the Union. The western part in Europe accounted for 1/4 of the country's area, and was the country's cultural and economic center. The eastern part in Asia extended to the Pacific Ocean to the east and Afghanistan to the south, and was much less lived in than the western part. It was over 10,000 kilometers, across 11 time zones and almost 7,200 kilometers north to south. The most westerly point was on the Baltic Sea, near Kaliningrad. The easternmost was Cape Dezhnev on the Bering Strait, nearly halfway around the world. The Soviet Union had the world's longest border, measuring over 60,000 kilometers in 1991. The collapse of the Soviet Union started in the late 1980s and was complete when the country broke up into 15 independent states on December 25, 1991. This signaled the end of the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the United States. Russia was considered the successor state of the Soviet Union. Considering the size, Russia is still the largest country on Earth even after the collapse of Soviet Union.